aromatic, garlicky, refried beans wrapped in 100% corn tortillas topped with a sweet and zingy tomato sauce and spicy, chewy tofu cubes. These vegan, gluten-free bean enchiladas won't let you down. Finding good gluten-free recipes can be difficult. Luckily, Mexican and Mexican-inspired food solves this problem as corn-based flour is used instead of wheat-based flour. And today we're going to wrap up some refried beans. I love this recipe. Although there are a few different things to put together, you don't have to make each component at the same time. It all stores well in the fridge or even in the freezer. So you can make a huge batch of everything and enjoy this dish time and time again. Stick around after the recipe and we will look at how much fibre and protein a serving provides and investigate which bean or beans are best. Something to look forward to, isn't it, Rissy? Okay, so let's get going. So there are quite a few different components today, about 4 in total, but it is totally worth it. And if you are pressed for time, you can do each one ahead of time or a few ahead of time, and you can keep some in the fridge overnight and that's not going to be a problem at all. So we're going to get started with making the beans, to the refried beans. So much garlic, lots and lots and lots of garlic. You can add even more than this if you want. This is just going to add so much flavour to the beans. Once the garlic is chopped, I'm going to lightly toast some cumin seeds, then a bit of olive oil, then chucking in the garlic, then frying that for a few minutes, then chucking in 3 cans of beans. So you can go for any beans that you want. It really isn't a problem. So black beans do seem to be synonymous with Mexican-inspired, Mexican-style cooking. Black beans are quite hard for me to get, so I've gone for a trio of bolota beans, kidney beans, and butter beans. Yeah, like I said, any beans would be good. All beans are great. Then to add some extra flavour to the beans, adding 1 green chilli. You can add more chilli if you want it to be even spicier, it's up to you. Then just a packet of fajita spice mix, and then a bit of paprika. Then just adding a dash of hot water, and I'm going to leave that on a low heat for a good half an hour or so. So moving on to the tomato sauce that's going to go on top of the enchiladas. So dicing up a good amount of ginger, and then frying that off in some oil, then adding some passata, and then just going to let that reduce down for a good 20 minutes or so. So while those sauces are reducing down, or if you're happy with them, you can just turn them off. Going to be making the tortilla wrap. So this is why it's gluten-free, because these are corn tortillas. You can buy these from the shop, or you can just use wheat tortillas if you want, but I do love the flavour of the corn tortilla. So made the dough earlier and then balling it out and cooking them one at a time. So making 8 in total. So this will be enough food for 4 people. So you can watch my video on tacos just to find out a little bit more how to make them, but it's very, very easy to make. Then the bean mix is ready to get mashed up. And mashing up those beans, and then they are ready to go into the corn tortillas. So everything will be ready. So filling up corn tortillas, and then once they're all filled, so I'm only making 4 because that's all I need to eat right now. So getting those filled, and then topping it with the nice and lovely sweet and gingery tomato sauce. And then the final component is some spicy tofu. So just cubing up some smoked tofu into small little cubes, then mixing that with some more harissa marina, some chili powder, and a bit of salt, and then adding that on top. So that will cook in the oven, and it will add an extra nice crunchy chewy texture to your dish. So this will go in the oven for 30 minutes at 180 degrees, and then all done. Lovely, lovely. There we go. Amazing bean enchiladas. Please do try this. And if you usually use wheat wraps, try them with corn. They really add something extra. Now on to which bean is best. I used a trio of beans, kidney, butter, and boletti, but should I have stuck with the more traditional pinto or black bean? In terms of taste, there is only one way to find out. To cook the dish again and use the different beans. And yes, I'm sure there will be slight differences, but I don't think too much, as beans generally tend to have a similar mild flavour, which is why they are a great ingredient, as you can add so much flavour to them. But for me, the best thing about a bean is its smooth and creamy texture, especially after it's been mashed up. So we are not going to concern ourselves too much with the taste, but if you do try this recipe with different beans, I would love to know how it comes, how it works out. Please let me know in the comments below. So as a nutritional advisor, I'm concerned about the nutritional content of everything, but today I'm mostly concerned about the beans. How would our fibre and protein intake be different if we used different beans? Let's look at the graph. So these numbers are for a serving of enchiladas, which is 2. And believe me, that is enough food to keep you full for a very long time. So what does this mean? Well, about the data, some of the fibre and protein will come from the rest of the ingredients, but that will be the same for each one. So if we look at the fibre bars in blue first, we can see that they are all very similar. There's only a difference of 2.2 grams. As the aim of each day is to get at least 30 grams of fibre, you will get about 50 from this one meal, which is fantastic. regardless of the beans or beans you decide to use. You okay there, Rissy? So now onto the green bars. So the green protein bars. Again, there's not much difference. Maybe you say the black beans are slightly behind, but they're only 3.7 grams behind the top spot. Protein needs are pretty different between people, but you'll be getting at least 20%, maybe even up to 40% of your daily needs from this one meal, which again is not bad considering all the fiber you are getting. You're really distracting me today. So not much of it in terms of protein and fiber. There is also not much difference in relation to calories, fat, or carbs. I just wanted to focus on the fiber today and see if that affected the amount of protein, which I don't think it did. But there is one benefit for mixing and matching your beans, the extra vitamins and minerals you get from the different food sources. If you can add more ingredients to a dish, then you always should. As you can remember back to previous videos, you want to get at least 30 different ingredients in your diet each week. So back to beans. So beans are a great source of vitamins B1 and B9, but mixing them up will give you some extra minerals. So if you only use one bean, you will get a good amount of minerals, maybe 3 or 4, but by mixing them up, that over doubles. So this dish contains a good amount of magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, zinc, potassium, phosphorus, and B6. So most of these extras are coming from the butter beans. Who knew? Did you know, Rissy? No. It's good, isn't it? Now on to Rissy. I would love to give you a little bean treat. However, all the beans we currently have been stored in brine, so that's too salty for you. But I do have your favorite little dog treat here. So yeah, all of our beans have been stored in brine, so that does make them too salty. If you do want to give your dog a little bean treat, then you have to prepare them at home from a dry bean with no added salt, sauce, or spice. And of course, no coffee beans, Rissy. No caffeine high for you. So to summarize, beans are great no matter what type of diet you have. The more different types of beans, the better. And if you are gluten-free, then Mexican and Mexican-inspired food will always be a winner. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to find out more about corn wraps, click over here. All right, thank you. And I will catch you in the next one. See you later. See you later, puppy. Come on, should we go?